Good evening, everyone. I'd like to talk to you today in my informative speech about a place that is very, very near and dear to my heart, my birthplace, Mobile, Alabama. Today I'd like to talk about three main important parts of Mobile, is just touch on a few of my favorites and some very important facts of history. So let's go to Mobile. First, I'd like to touch on the history of Mobile. Mobile was first discovered at the mouth of the Mobile River on Mobile Bay back in 1519 by the Spanish. This beautiful city passed hands many, many times, from the Spanish to the British, back to the Spanish again, back to the United States, when Spain and the U.S. finally signed a treaty. This also served as one of the most important ports during the Civil War for the Confederates, until they had to surrender at Fort Morgan and Fort Gaines during the Battle of Mobile Bay to Union Admiral David Farragut. There are also very many antebellum homes that are still standing around Mobile that have all of these artifacts and are still kept up from the Civil War era, and you can step back in time and see how they really lived back then. Now let's move forward to attractions. There are very many attractions that are so interesting about Mobile, but I'm going to pick out three of my favorite ones that I think you should know about. First is the Battleship Memorial Park, which is home to the USS Alabama, which is pictured right here. Here you can walk on her deck, go below stern, and see why she is one of the nation's most decorated warships. There are many artifacts that they had whenever it was on board during wartime. There are many other things that you can walk through the park and see from World War II, as well as another warship, submarines, things that they used back in World War II, and step back into that era and see how they lived then. It's very, very interesting if you're into history. Now, some people like more of a relaxing part. Well, Mobile has that too. It's more of a relaxing part, which is their beaches. Their beaches are a main tourist attraction, and they continue to bring tourists in all year round, as well as the surrounding places of Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, and Dauphin Island. All of these are within about 20 to 30 minute drive from Mobile, so you can have your fair pick of beaches. Bellingrath Gardens is another place that everyone should be able to visit year-round, including at Christmas time. It is a wonderful, beautiful, historic home built back in the 1935, filled with many historical things from Europe and from the family that originally built it. I do believe it has 15 rooms. Very interesting place to see. It has 65 acres of all different kind of flowers from all over the world that are in full bloom year round. And at Christmas time, there is over anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 lights lit up in different perspectives, like Coke and polar bears and just under the sea theme, all different kind of themes, and it's very interesting for people to see. It's one of my family's favorites to do every year when we go visit for Christmas. So now I want to touch on the topic that's the funnest of all in Mobile, and that is Mardi Gras. Many people think that Mardi Gras started back in New Orleans, when in fact it was actually founded in Mobile back in 1703 with the first parade. The season actually kicks off in November with formal balls and the king and queen being announced in their courts, and continues on through the holiday season on up to Fat Tuesday in February, with 2.5 weeks of parades. The parades, of course, include marching bands, colorful floats, musicians from all around, party goers, tons of beads, candy, and of course a Mardi Gras staple, which is the moon pie. Everyone knows about the moon pie in Mobile. They even drop a giant moon pie from the sky every New Year's Eve in celebration of Mardi Gras. So, I'd like to thank you for listening to my informative speech of why Mobile is so important to me and the beautiful parts of Mobile, and I hope that it makes you want to learn more about Mobile and what a beautiful place it is. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great evening.